Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here, Lance's Performance Shop, LoneStarMopars.com. I've got a ton of stuff going on here in the background. Batteries charging, vehicles have to move in the middle of trying to organize a shop, which involves shelves and cabinets and all kinds of crazy stuff. So in the meantime, picked up some new things recently, and one of them, which if you can see here, this is an old Task Force. It wasn't mine. This is something I think I got from my grandmother. The problem is it works fine. I've got several box cutters scattered around the shop. It's just I realized I don't have any more utility blades here. And so it started as a simple mission to get more utility blades for the 2 to 3 box cutters that I think are somewhere around here. I actually stumbled upon this. Picked it up from the Home Depot. The price is $14.97. This is a Milwaukee Fastback flip utility knife with blade storage. And the big selling point here, as you can see, 50 utility blades. So the price, they were a little ridiculous on their utility blades. I can typically get them real cheap through work. Granted, this one was for personal use. And subsequently, instead of just shelling out $10 for 50 blades, I figured I'd spend $14.97 and get this. So, ironically, this is probably the best blister pack I have ever seen in terms of theft prevention. It's almost like it's bead locked. Typically you've got like one here and one here, maybe one in the middle. This thing is just dimpled the entire perimeter of the package, which is oh so cruel, because chances are if you're purchasing this, you're either A, replacing one that's lost or broken, or B, getting a box cutter type tool for the first time, and you subsequently are put through this to open it up. So it's one of those things. I'm not even going to cut this on camera. I'm going to do that off camera, then we'll check it out. But it actually claims it has a wire stripper, strips up to 12 gauge, which is kind of cool. And there's a tool-free blade change. Always want to be careful when you do that. Note right here, still getting used to this camera, so my apologies, but there is a lifetime warranty, which is pretty sweet. But red, not technically my color, but in this case I thought it would be pretty cool. And my plan of action, if you're curious, not even touching this stuff. I'm just gonna come and cut that out. So in all honesty, short of like the really cheap box cutters, kind of like this that you can pick up for $2 or $3, anything slightly fancier, you're around the $10 mark, making this a pretty good value. So tons of them in stock, a little under 15 bucks at Home Depot. I'll be back once we've opened it up. Alright, so this was not quite as bad as I thought. We came in cut here, the blades came out quickly. As you can see, there's sort of that center section where we had to get the extra tear. But we got it opened up. Let's go ahead and check it out. We will start with what you're probably the least interested in, or perhaps the most interested in. I've got to say, if the packaging is any indication of the quality, I think we've got a pretty good deal here. But this is a very, typically I have an El Cheapo blade holder, and this one's not too bad, but it looks like, of course, this side is sealed. Over here, you've got this black lever, and as you might have expected, that's going to slide the blade out. You probably want to withdraw that to not screw it up, but hey, if you do, you can just break that off, and as most people do, have a small drawer in your toolbox full of razor blades and or other sharp objects. Now, something that I thought was pretty cool about this, note it's got hangers, so if you want to come in and you've got pegboard, if you want to shoot screws in the wall, whatever it may be, you can actually hang this up and then it's always right there, which is convenient. If you've got this at a workbench, it's up on pegboard, even on the table itself, provided you have space. You're home free, you always know where your blades are. So this is actually a very nice holder, I must say, for being considered free. Right here, though, this is the money shot. This is what you care about. This is the Milwaukee Fastback. This is actually nicer. It's one of those things, it's packed so well you can't get a feel for it. I just, from experience, we know what things like this are like, right? Nothing wrong with them, not the most stout. And regardless of the brand, whether you get, the 79-cent one or the $5 one, they're all pretty much the same thing. These typically have blade storage here. Some of the cheaper ones don't, others do, but again, it's just kind of a pain. With this one, it claims it stores 4 blades. I'm not exactly sure where, if we can get that to focus for us. That said, it's got some cool features that I was unaware of when we opened it up. So the belt clip is actually stout. if you want this clipped to the side of your tool bag or your belt or your jeans, whatever it may be. This is actually one of the more impressive belt clips I've ever seen. It doesn't seem like the type that's going to break off within the first 2 days of usage, in other words. Now, right here, I'm not quite sure exactly. There's really nothing detailed, so I'm just kind of derping around as we go. This is the latch, and it's kind of a cool deal because, as you note, you'll see a lot of new age box cutters if you're old school, if work hasn't updated in a while. If you haven't updated in a while, they're always straight, right? If you want to cut in an angle, you tilt your hand. Now, when you peruse the selections, if you will, of box cutters, you'll note that there's several that are at different angles, 45 or so, somewhere in there. This is not the finished product, but as you can see, it'll lock in multiple positions. So that's kind of a cool touch, in my opinion. The way I think the cable stripper is going to work is I think it'll be right here. So sort of the front side of the blade and the back side of the blade, which if you use that a lot, you'll kind of have more of an even wear pattern as opposed to chipping this blade and then cycling it back over and having this be defunct and non-functional. I am not quite sure what this is for, in all honesty. But if we spin this around, I wondered if we had a blade loaded up, if this would actually be a functional stripper as well. So what I will do, I'll tell you what, we can go ahead and do it together. We will slide this out, see what kind of a mess we've got, and we'll take full advantage of what we have to work with. So, the blade selection, does it work well? Yes. I thought there was a tang on the end, there was not. My apologies. This looks to be, there's no country of origin. Razor blades typically US, so there is an oily film on it, which probably is necessary to keep it separated. Let's see how we're going to load this thing. It looks like there's a detent right there, so I will just step in. Oh yeah, that's simple enough. So basically, all you do, this is so weird having the screen to the side, there's just the black button we're pressing down, and you can kind of control where you want the blade. And of course now it is razor sharp, if you will. So we want to be careful with what we do. But let's press down. There we are at kind of the halfway point, 45. That's very comfortable. It's ergonomic, but you also want to be very careful not to ever hit that button if you do hold it in that manner. And of course now we're going to come in, fold it the rest of the way, and this is what I'm curious about, and that is my answer. So right here, this is going to protect your finger unless it's a very small child, I guess, or someone crazy. Is it raining outside? It may be. Anyhow, right there, we're able to, I presume, come in if you've got anything sealed up, maybe cable ties, cable, things of that nature. You can just kind of utilize this in the closed position and take advantage of that. So, what I am curious about is where they think the blade storage is, because I do not know. I guess it could be the back side of that. I guess, is it here? I don't know that I would ever do that. I guess I would try it and see what I think. I suppose that's actually going to be correct. So, let's go ahead and slide. Okay. Already got problems, do we? Nope, it redeemed itself. Very cool. So, we will slide that out. And I think if we set that down, this should be what we want to do. As you can see, we go on the fly. No need to be fancy. So let's take a look. This looks like it would indeed, I don't know if that'll focus enough for you to see it, but it looks like you could stack multiple here, which I'll assume is 4. I'm going to go ahead and shut that. Yeah, you know what? Now that that is in there, I am confident with it. I would have no issue storing 4 blades, so that's pretty cool. You're probably not going to want to lug this around on a job site or take it with you, load it up in your vehicle per se. This is something you're going to want to leave at the home base, at the office, the shop. This, however, you would have with you, and if you were to, say, break this, for whatever reason it may be, flip it around, you've got the back side. If that goes, you've got 4 more blades in the handle. Now, my question becomes, can we access these with that shut? And the answer is yes, so very cool. That's the way it'll work. I will actually go ahead and stick 4 blades in here, have this thing equipped with 5 total blades, obviously 2 sides per. For $15, I gotta say, I'm not too not too disappointed. In other words, I'm trying to say I'm happy with my purchase. So, just a real quick video here. Again, if you are going to sink this kind of money into it versus, say, something that you can pick up for $3 or $4, you kind of want to know what you're getting, what the benefits are. The thing, I've just used these my entire life, so I'm very used to them. You know, I know if it's a fragile box, we don't stick the blade out very far, type of a thing. But this I like. The form factor's nice. The ergonomics, it's way more comfortable in the hand. It's probably a little heavier as well, which you necessarily wouldn't expect against something like this. But HDX, if you're in for the El Cheapo, Stanley, you can get high visibility colors, if you will, orange, greens, yellows, fluorescents, neons, whatever they are. Fancier versions of these, which I do have some of at work, they're just sort of like a little bulkier. They've kind of got like some pads on them so you can have a better grip, be more comfortable in your hand, which is nice if you do use these quite a bit or have a lot to unpack situations. This thing, though, very, very nice. I kind of will plan to use this sort of like a pocket knife around the shop and be able to tear into packages. You'll probably see it in future unboxings, in fact. And to put it to the test, let's go ahead and come out, just because I'm used to this. We're going to go full-on conventional. Picked these gloves up for the very simple fact that they were orange. I thought they were kind of cool, and they fit. Typically, I need an extra large, but large is all they had, and I slid these on. They fit well. They're leather gloves. They ran like $9 or so. They're a little higher quality than the cheaper stuff. And I've had trouble finding the good mechanics gloves here locally. The Western safety ones from Harbor Freight have actually been the best I've had. But, oh, that cut like butter. That's really nice. So, I'm not quite sure what that is. I didn't investigate, but I guess it's just a thinner plastic. That's what it is. So that cut really well. That's about all I have here handy to showcase. But like I said, we will be using this quite frequently as we unpackage things and unbox them here at the shop. And if we start having trouble, we'll know about it. If we don't, we're going to continue to sing its praises. That said, I'm going to go pop the door open a little wider because I think it is raining, and there's something in the back of the truck I need to get in here. So for $15, I'm pretty happy with this thing. I kind of wasn't sure if it was going to be a gimmick and I'd regret not getting my typical El Cheapo, but I like it. You can store 4 blades in the handle here. This little black recess piece. This thing will strip cable, which is a bonus feature. I didn't even look at the back side of it. And of course, when it is shut, you have this area here where you could also cut or strip cable, and 50 blades as well. So, I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with this purchase. Again, you could probably wait around and find it cheaper, find something similar. I don't think you're gonna get lower than $10 with whatever it is, but 50 blades and a pretty sweet form factor of a box cutter utility knife, I'll call it a win. As always, thanks so much for watching. LoneStarMopars.com is the website. You can find us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. We'll start doing more on Instagram here shortly. So whatever your preferred method of social media may be, we should have you covered. But until next time, I will catch you back here for more action from the shop.